Oh, 0. I missed the 0. Sorry. Hi. Hello, Galaxy. Sorry. I was distracted. Hayden. I was distracted by the new iPhone. And what I was saying was, before leaving to get pizza with my family, I plugged in the iPhone. Better? Yeah, I'd agree. But I plugged in my old iPhone instead of the new iPhone, thinking I was trying to restore everything, right? I was waiting for it to kind of like, restore everything. I haven't had a long time with the new iPhone, unfortunately. Oh, hey, thank you for following. Speeding Turtle. Oh, yes. Found my channel looking up tech talk because I'm looking for help. Well, X Speeding, if I can't help, someone might. You may also be interested in my YouTube channel. It's tech videos as well, where I love answering questions too. With or without wigs? What's the question? So anyway, I got the new iPhone 14. I'm playing with the dynamic island now, and I like the idea. Needs help? Start the billing clock. Yes, no doubt. And I'm looking at it, and you can tap, or you can like long press, you can cancel. I mean, like, it's the dynamic island with third-party support is gonna be pretty freaking cool. Like that, there's no doubt in my mind. Like that is like easily one of the features that is most exciting. Oh, thank you, Fix 'em, dude. No Hayden Zone. I agree. Well, yes, I agree on that. Thank you, Fix 'em, dude. I appreciate all your support. All of it. Every bit of it. You're struggling with ping issue. Here's the September Jelly Bean. Struggling with ping issue, running 250, 350 megabits. Ping is crazy high. I'm not sure how to adjust ping times. I'm not a networking wonk, but there may be a geek in here who is. Thank you, Vic. Oh, tier 2. Okay, so that's 2 jelly beans. Oh. I just ate a full pizza on my own. I ate the whole pizza. It was with thin crust and everything, but, man, I should not have eaten the whole pizza. But it's like, I don't know, I just kept eating and eating and eating. I was hungry. I ate before. I ate earlier today, but... So, that is not a flavor I love. The black licorice. Not cauliflower dough, just regular dough. Thin crust, though. Mod pizza, where you can build your own pizza. They do vegan stuff, too. It's awesome. But Hayden Zone is right. The iPhone 14 is just a renamed version of the iPhone 13, while the Pro is different. I don't disagree. Like, I don't think there's any reason to get a 14 if you have a regular 13, not a Pro, but you have just a regular iPhone 13. There's little to no reason to upgrade to a 14. Now, there's a bigger reason to upgrade to a Pro, and that is specifically because of the dynamic islands. And those are... Let me show you, right? I'm gonna take it off the charger for a moment. Swipe up. I've already face unlocked or whatever. It's currently downloading all the apps. In order to continue to download these various apps, I got to basically tap to download, because it's still restoring everything, like gigabytes and gigabytes. I don't even think it's got my like all the photos. Like there's nothing. It's still, I can't even months, days, whatever. Oh wait, hang on. Whoa, something just came in. Oh, now they're coming in. Okay, now they're downloading. So hopefully I triggered that and it's going to download. I don't know if it's going to restore when it's off the charger. So we're going to open up the clock app here. Swipe down, clock. Start typing clock. Theoretically, 3 minutes. Oh, I have to press search. Okay, 3 minutes later, it doesn't even find the clock app, unfortunately. That's KIOS. Thank you for that. I guess I got to go over here and look for clock. There we go. So here's the clock. So I'm going to set the timer here. 5 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to exit out. And then what it did was it popped into the dynamic islands there. You see it? Oh, sorry. Let me do this. You see it? Dynamic islands. And then I can tap or long press. If I long press, it pulls it out, open. And then if I tap, it'll open the app, right? So if I exit out, and it pops it up there seamlessly. If I tap, it opens the app. If I tap, hang on, let me get the right tap target. Sorry, I'm doing that. It's in front of me right now. But yeah, the dynamic island is the thing I wanted to play with most out of everything on iOS, because honestly, the search and Siri and all that, it just does not impress me. It's yet to impress me. But it's just like the older iPhones. There's still lag in spots. It doesn't feel any faster than earlier editions of the iPhone. But man, that dynamic island, as soon as more apps start taking advantage of it, it's going to be a big win. I'm not saying that the dynamic island would get me to flip back to iOS, but I got to tell you, it goes a long way. I still can't get over. Let me open up Twitter. See, I'm going to see how Twitter scrolls. I thought everything else had logged in from backup. Everything. Okay. Well, I guess I had to wait for it to restore from backup. Maybe I have to wait for it all to log in. Okay, let me plug it back in. Let it charge. Wait, I got to stop the timer. The timer's also on the lock screen, but that's an iOS 16 thing. But hey, Astronac, someone was asking about ping issues. I'm not sure if anybody knows. I don't know how to I don't know anything about networking, though. Good thing the iPhone 14 is the emergency SOS. Yes. But that's coming to other phones. That's not just going to be an iPhone exclusive. My iPhone says SOS. It's already sending out an SOS. I'll send an SOS. Takes a while for everything to restore. Yeah, it must. Because I was like, oh, let me try just tapping to download apps. So I did. Now my concern is I'm going to have to re-log into everything again because of that. So I don't know what it's restoring, what it'll restore. If I downloaded it ahead of the queue, will it restore the data? I don't know how that's going to go. But my primary use for it is going to basically be the camera and photos. Because, no, it shouldn't vary app by app. I thought the way that the new restore works, it's end-to-end encrypted. Yeah, crash detection. But the Pixel, Google Pixel has had crash detection from day one, pretty much. No, it was in addition. It was a Pixel drop. Hello there, Brecor. Some apps will sign you in, some apps won't. Okay, I do wonder. Well, okay, so what I'm saying is, it was restoring data. It was in the process of restoring data. And I jumped the queue of that restore process. So I don't know if it's going to sweep in and say, oh, you've got Twitter, here's all the data from your old, the old app. But if I re-downloaded it, I don't know if that cuts that option or opportunity off. Oh, your phone was wiped? See, I didn't wipe. You should have wiped. You should always wipe or get a bidet. Get an iPhone bidet. So day, it was a good day. I'm it's funny. The always on display is what's funny about it is it's laying on the table here, and I'm thinking, oh, it's broken. Like, oh, the screen's still on. I'm not used to an always on display with an iPhone, right? Of course, I'm used to an iPhone display with my Android devices, like my trusty, and I would say very trusty, very, 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 very trusty Galaxy. In fact, you had an iCloud backup from a few hours before, still had to relog in. Oh, see, I don't know if that works phone to phone. I don't know. I don't remember. Last time, I swear I didn't have to relog into a lot of things. But one of the first things I did was I did a photo, a comparison. I wanted to test the camera. Ethan's Dad 3D, Tier 3.
Ethan's Dad
wow.
3D just resubscribed for 19 months. Show me the phone. Smile.
You know what? Now, since Ethan's Dad 3D, this is one of the apps that I pre-downloaded. There's your Tier 3. There's your 3 blackjack. By the way, thank you for tagging MakerDeck on Twitter tonight. Thank you very, very much. I saw that. Thank you. Here's the new iPhone. You can tell it's a new iPhone because I turned off the screen and it's still on. Let me swipe. Unlock. A lot of jumping around there. I don't like that. One of the apps I pre-downloaded, EM3D. So, EM3D wants to connect with devices on the local network. I don't have an iPad anymore. We're going to scan something. We are going to scan... Ooh. Now, that might be a little challenging. I did this the other day. I did this in another app. Ethan's Dad 3D. We are going to scan... Well, I'm just going to scan me. I'm going to scan my face. I'm scanning an EM3D. That's the app that Ethan's Dad 3D makes. Sometimes he's even dropped redeem codes in chat that you can redeem on iOS for yourself. I'm not sure what options I have. I think I bought the STL export at one point. I wish Apple would bring back slide to unlock. Yeah, I missed that too. Nice. All right, here we go. Ethan's dad 3D. Marcus, here we go. I'm gonna try to scan me here. Sit still. I really need help. Oh, it got the chair too. Dang it. I can hear it, or I can feel it, like going click, 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 click. Oh, I moved it too fast. Oh, well, it's got to clean it up here. Let's find out. It's generating the preview. So there's the scan in the EM3D app just now. Very quick and dirty. Very quick and dirty. This is the app that he made. So that was my scan of me just now. Very quick. If someone else did it, it would be better. But I could export that if I wanted to as an STL. I won't because it's a bunch of trash. I can save it. I can clean it up. But see, if I were to do it again, I wouldn't have the chair behind me. It is a cyborg. I am Chris Perillo. So anyway, just so you know, I don't know if you've seen this working. Am I the first to use it on the new iPhone, Marcus? Because if so, it is done. It is finished. I've scanned. Impressive. Almost makes me wish I had an iPhone. Yeah, well, I'm going to stop you right there, Fix'em Dude. It is a great app, though, Darth Gallman. No doubt about that. Chris Cutus. I am Chris Cutus of Borg. You will be assimilated. Hey, bro, Jazz. Great to see you. Chris, no, did I not? I didn't go back. I had an iPhone. I had a 13 Pro Max. Now I got a 14 Pro Max. I needed to try the Dynamic Island, and I love it. I love the Dynamic Island. Like, I'm seriously in love with it. I don't like other aspects of iOS, though. I don't like the way search works. I don't like the lock screen notifications. They're still kind of messy, and sometimes I accidentally swipe over and get widgets, and other times I accidentally swipe over and get the camera. Now, speaking of camera, oh, God, that looks horrible. That looks too warm. No, warm, too warm. See, I still feel like the best filter... No, even that looks warm. Like... Rich contrast almost looks best. We'll see how it captures, though. Yeah, is that... Hang on, is that the True Tone display? Let me turn off the True Tone display, because that just... I'm looking at the colors, and it just doesn't look right. True... Oh, no, I gotta use the other search. Man, this is just annoying. They need to get rid of both those search buttons. There needs to be one search. True. Search. Oh, there we go. True Tone. True Tone is off. Yeah, I turned off True Tone because it just drove me nuts. Okay. I don't like how the color on the desk turned out at all. It came out like orange. Why is it so friggin' orange? Even in cool, it was orange. And it's not that orange in real life. It's like, there's a red tone. It's definitely not the beta. This is the final. In fact, this is 16.0.2. You wouldn't know how to properly use iOS. No, I mean, it's easy enough to navigate. But here's the thing. The camera. So here I am. I don't know if this will be a good example. Okay, I'm not going to move. I'm going to open up the camera app by double tapping on the, wait, where is it? Yeah, that's photo. Oh, I'm still 3x4. Okay, 3x4. This is going to be the default. It's basically the same. I'm just going to point and tap. Why is that? It's really bright. It just seems brighter, but the color seems more accurate. I don't know how else to explain it. So I'm going to, is this a good example? I kind of think so. This is with the regular lens. It's going to be difficult. It feels like what? They look the same, right? But I just feel like the Samsung up close takes a better or less. Let's see here. In fact, this is not fair. Let me do this. I feel like it's just orangey versus the iPhone is too warm. So let me do this. I was doing side by sides. This is the thing I was most interested in. Check white balance. Night shift is not on. I don't turn on night shift on any of my devices because that whole red light, blue light thing I think is BS. And I'm pretty sure that was also the case that was discovered. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna focus in on the Vader. This is not in night mode, by the way. So I'm gonna focus in on the Vader. It's bright because I got a light screen behind me. But I'm going to take, if I were to take a Vader photo, I'm going to do that. Lock in. Let me move that button. Like, try to get it the right light in here. There we go. Okay, so I took that picture. Now I'm going to do the same. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do the same here. Now this is with, let's see here. This is this is standard. This is standard, so this is a regular lens. There's no filters. That would be contrast, that would be vibrant, warm, or cool. My feeling is cool would work best, but I'm going to go back to standard. I'm going to go back to the Vader, tap him, lock him, but hang on, let me do this. Autofocus and auto lock, I'm going to dim it down a bit. Drop it a bit. Wait, no, that's a little too dim. Come on, there we go. A little bit. There we go. Taking a picture. And side by side, it still feels the iPhone is warmer than the Samsung, and it's just almost too warm for lights that I've gotten here. And the cooler tone on the Samsung seems better. So if I zoom in on each one of the Vaders, I'll try to get it exactly the same. It still feels, look at the, can you tell? Here, let me see if you can tell. Check white balance in the, oh yeah, no, the white balance is on. The white balance is like, it's auto. It's auto white balance on both of them. I don't have the white balance in either one of them, so. Pretty sure, I'll check. Let's see here, where's the white balance? No, that's night. It's night sight. I don't need that. No, there is. I have exposure. I have. No, that's live. I don't think I have. I don't have a white balance set anywhere. No, those are filters. I'm not sure. Where? Hang on. Tell me. There's the exposure. Tell me where the white balance is, because I don't see it. That's the night. So I like turn, if I have a chance, I do turn on the night. I have that on if I can. Cause I'd rather toggle it. But where is it? Where's the white balance? There's flash, live, filters, aspect ratio, timer. There is no white balance. You messing with me? No, the iPhone is not my daily driver. It is not. Not by a long shot. So I'm gonna zoom in again, and I'm gonna have you look at the not lapels, but basically, you know, the lines here on Vader. You're gonna see the iPhone versus the. Oh, it's been restored. Okay, cool. You just saw the notification. Sweet. God dang it. Just as I was getting ready to. Here we go. Show everybody. You give me that note. Oh. I've had a lot of mishaps, I'll tell you what, on iOS. A lot. Look at those stripes. Okay? You can see, even in this color balance with this camera, the video camera that I got, photographic style settings. Yeah, I know. What I said, this is the original. This is like untouched. This is the original. But what I'm saying is this is not with cool. This is with the regular setting. Oh, come on. My screens fall asleep too fast. The gray in Vader is more gray. The gray in the iPhone Vader is a little more yellow. It's warmer. And so that's something that I've noticed with the photos. Also, I feel like it over sharpens a bit more than I would like, personally. The color is just, it's too warm. That's that's my taste. But again, I got to give Apple credit for giving the option to at least, with this little Swipe to customize the camera. You can even set up your own. You can go to a cool setting, but even the cool setting I'm seeing. So you can increase the tone, adjust the tone. You can make, although the blues go wacky, rich cool. Oh, interesting. So it changes that too. So let's try this. I'm going to try a new setting here. Although I can't tell what any of these options do, honestly. Rich cool. Warm, rich cool. Let's try that. See, that's almost, see, that made my desk even warmer than it was before, but seemingly, but at least with the cool, those lines are grayer. The lines are less warm. The reds in the desk that you see here are a bit brighter or more orange, but this is closer to what I would want. So that's probably the filter that I'm going to be using, like, exclusively. But they gave people richer colors. In the testing that I did in this room, the indoor room, it's I'm not as impressed with the iPhone camera. Oh, the white balance is available in edit mode. Okay, see, well, that's weird. Why wouldn't it be in live mode? Oh, it is amazing how far Android has come. Nice to know Android may have the very slight lead on camera quality. In my humble opinion, in doing it, here's the test I did. Did I delete them? So this may not be a fair test because I got to make sure that the night thing should have toggled. But if it's dark or if it's like indoors, let me see here. I'm gonna punch in. No, I'm not gonna punch in. I'm doing a 1x across the room. I'm gonna focus on some stormtroopers across the room. Lock it. Snap it. And this is with the, that was with my, cool, right? So the color is more to my liking. We're gonna get that over across the room. Really bright. Why is this way, it seems like way overexposed here. All right. Well, we're gonna find out how it works. Okay, hit the photo. Okay, across the room, focus the same spot. The TV is gonna be HDR-ish. And we have, yeah, for some reason that looks really bright in here. Let me try that again. I don't know, there's something. It could be that I'm pointing at the TV or something. Is something else off? No, that's motion photo. All the filters are off. Scene optimizer's off. Let's do this. Okay. It's a little better. Now, yeah, these two pictures are closer side by side. They're closer in the same. Why do you have to do that? Everyone wants cover flow back. Oh, I remember cover flow. I think the iPhone in a standard mode process is a bit too much towards their liking. Shooting in RAW should give you a more realistic image. Potentially, Nibbit. I have not shot in RAW. I don't plan on doing that a lot, though. Heard some Android phone makers are already planning on copying the dynamic island. Snort up a carp, that wouldn't surprise me. Your wife blew you away. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me accept that. Why are you taking a pic of my floor lamp? What? With that feature where you tap and hold. Oh, yeah. No, I do that all the time. I love it. I take pictures with my Android device. Don't let them tell you that Android... Oh, did you see that slop on Android? You missed it. All right. Let me open up those photos and show you what I was talking about earlier. And it may be different, but I'm going to zoom in and just... Oh, my God. That looks horrible. Just to show you. And I know people say, oh, you shouldn't pixel peep. I'm like, yeah, but, like, you're recording those pixels. So I zoomed in, and it's almost like this cartoonish... How close can I get without it? The iPhone just sharpens, like, and bolds in so many ways and blows out details. Here, I can't see myself very well. But have they fixed the slop? They have not. All right. Let me show you. So you can see... This is the one with rounded corners is the iPhone, and the one with sharper edges is the Galaxy, the Tab, or it's not Tab, the Galaxy and the iPhone. So can you really tell here with the Stormtroopers is what I'm trying to draw your attention to here. Let me go full on this so you can see, and I'm gonna go even closer on something else. So like the iPhone is just bolder, and it loses detail. Like specifically on the Stormtroopers is too white. Look at it versus the Samsung. I don't know how close I can get and still show you the same. It's just like this is the details on this is like if I hold it there, it's like it's muddy. There are muddy details from across the room. Now same distance here. Same distance. The details on this Stormtrooper not so muddy. Cleaner shot. Look, again, this is the Samsung, and then a muddier image, I had the same problem with the almost looks like a cartoon effect. Honestly, I had the same problem. Hey, good morning, Man Cave. The iPhone is definitely not better. It is demonstrably not better because look, I'll even go a step further. I'm going to show you down below. It's very contrasty. And no matter what setting you use, it's like incredibly contrasty. These are defaults. These are point and shoots, right? The Stormtrooper details down there, they're lost and muddied. Like everything down there, and even George Lucas. And it could be that the white balance on the camera that I'm showing you, the lens I'm showing you, doesn't do it justice, right? Versus this, and it's just cleaner. And the skin tones of those George Lucas figures are more natural. Again, from across the room, 1x lens, more natural on the Samsung than on a very cartoon effect looking, blown out, white Apple device. And I had the same problem earlier when I got close to George Lucas. The George Lucas is in the dark. I was taking pictures in the dark, and it wasn't doing a good job. But again, I want to test that before I go further with it. I want to make sure I have night sight toggled properly. I'm probably, when I do my testing, I'm probably going to, as much as the tone, there's different tone mapping and whatnot. So I don't know. Here we go. Tone. Rich, cool. Warmth. See, I want to turn it all the way. I want to turn it all the way down, just to get rid of. Well, no, that's wrong. That's almost way off. Because cool. Why does it make everything? When I set the iPhone to cool, it makes everything not cool. It makes it warm. Like my red curtains, it made them very red. So there's just something about the. Can I make a new one? Reset to cool. Okay. No, see, even the iPhone curtains there are off. Okay, this is close. This is the standard. And I'm just taking a picture of my screen here. This is standard on both. I don't know how well it's going to work, but wow. Pretty darn close. Taking a picture of the screen up. This is me on the screen, right? I showed up a little brighter and a little more. It's like it balanced to my skin better on the iPhone versus the Samsung. And again, the Samsung is running a little cooler. In terms of the color of the curtains, it's almost a wash. But I've also found the same thing with the selfie cam, right? And in terms of like the skin, it made my skin oranger in the on the iPhone according to the image that you see compared to the Samsung. And which is that's usually the case though. Even if I took like a selfie, it would not it would here, let me try doing it this way. This is a horrible way of testing, but it's a curiosity. It always brightens, but this is closer. The Samsung got me it's a bright screen, so you're not seeing it the same way I am. It's closer to the screen capture than if I do the same thing if I again focus on my face standard. It just makes my face a little more orange than it actually. There, okay. That's a little, yeah, it's still a little orange and contrasty. But it's hard for me to, on this particular video feed, because like basically you're interpreting these two screens and these two cameras through that lens. Samsung made chips for iPhone. Oh yes, Daniel, I'm kind of with the Sam. I'm in Samsung's camp. I think the lighting's mildly nicer on the iPhone. Seems like the ISO is too high though. All I'm doing is pointing and shooting. Just back from South Africa. Oh wow, Man Cave, you were on a safari. What is so difficult about just not doing the nonsense processing on photo? Bren, I'm totally with you. Drives me up the friggin' wall. Like, seriously, the iPhone overprocesses photos. And I think Silver Sunbeam was mentioning about the Pixel being too contrasty. I got used to it. I like the Pixel images, but then when I moved to the Samsung, it took me a while, but I think I prefer Samsung's images to the Pixel images now. Though I do like a good contrasty photo. I got used to how Samsung does it at this point. Night sight, well, whatever they call it. The night mode thing, Daniel. Yeah, night sight was a Pixel feature. I still think the Pixel probably does the best in the dark, or has done the best in the past. But yeah, the thing that I'm always interested in testing when it comes to this is different scenarios indoors. Probably running it through its paces where most people wouldn't, but learning what works, what doesn't work. It kind of comes down to a matter of choice, but there's some, in my mind, some empirical divisions where, details get blown out. Like or the color is it's too sharpened, right? Or it's over sharpened. And that is, I find that the iPhone pitting the two against each other, I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad camera. It's just that I feel that Samsung largely edges it out. Except for one thing, I'll say this. I did the Selfie cam is a wider angle camera. Let's see if I can here. What's the best way to do it? Okay, so I'll hold it here. This is on the iPhone, and then I'll hold it in about the same spot on the Samsung. Wait, the camera's different. Camera must be in a different position. Here we go. I'm trying to get it in the same. That doesn't. This is the wide angle. Weird. No, the iPhone has a wider angle. I swear the iPhone has a wider angle. I could be wrong. No, I swear. How is it? Just a slightly wider angle, but... Okay, maybe I'm seeing things. I'm really white in real life. Semi off topic. I ever played with used one new flip phones? No, I'm not really into the flip. Not into the flippiness as much. No, I don't want to crop. He was doing a Bixby. I don't want to do that. It contrasted. I tell you, the iPhone contrasted my face. Strong contrast on my face. Versus the Samsung there, and the Samsung's a little brighter. I don't know which one's truer to life, but it just seems that it's a very contrasty face versus a non-contrasty face. That's the easiest way to explain how it processed. And I feel that in this light, I'm closer to the Samsung than I am the iPhone. And granted, what you see here, there's even filters here where there's a richer contrast from what you see versus real life. Like in real life, the desk is not as a deep red, right? In real life, the curtains aren't as red. Between the two, in terms of curtains, I feel, they're both, this is back with the standard, but they're both pretty, they both seem to come pretty close. Maybe the iPhone's a little warmer, but that's the way it has been. The curtains should be actually closer to the iPhone slightly versus the slightly cooler Samsung. And granted, it has filters too, but I generally don't like messing with a lot of the filters. So I've been doing a lot of those kind of tests, just seeing what works there, what doesn't. Picture quality, always speculative, always interested in professional photographer. Well, yeah, there's always on paper, well, this does this and this does that. And of course, any camera in a professional photographer's hand is going to do better than mine. So here's the thing. I'm not a professional photographer. So the photos that a professional photographer keeps or takes, I'm never going to come close to. For me, I'd rather take the picture, look at those details, see which one works. Because ultimately, that's the experience I'm going to be having with one device or another, with one camera or another. The app looks closer to what we see through Twitch via the Sony camera and compression. Possibly. Because you're getting the translation. But up close, it is, I'm telling you, I feel it's sharpening. It's sharpening and it's warmifying my face. Beyond that, this is going to be very disgusting. But you're going to see my stubble. Despite the Apple seeming to be more contrasty in my face, I feel that the Samsung picked up on more details, like specifically like my stubble. The iPhone kind of mashes my stubble, and the Samsung has more defined stubble, just shaved. So, you know, it feels like even the pores in my nose seem sharper. Hey, Swensky. Yep, I am feeling better. Thank you. But they're both good shots. They're both really... This is a better selfie camera. Absolutely. There's zero doubt. This is a better selfie camera than what was on the iPhone 13. Like I said, though, the thing that really impressed me, I was doing test shots. Maybe this will work. If I do this, and then... Because the wide angle, like, I was like, whoa, that's a really wide angle. And not using the wide... Because there is no wide angle selfie, so to speak. But you get a little more... You get a little more space on the side with the iPhone than you do... Just a little than you do with the Samsung. Oh, sorry. Just a little more, not by much, but you know, that may be that may be all the difference. Everyone will have a different experience. Well, yeah, it's all subjective. It's all subjective. I'm just telling you what I see and the details that I see getting fudged. Like that, like for example, I was showing you the stubble. There is zero doubt that it is empirical. The stubble on the iPhone camera got smudged. Whether it was processed or over-processed, I don't know. But it was smudged. And my face was definitely more contrasty, which is, I don't mind because it was a very pixel-esque like experience. So, yeah, granted, I was trying to take a better shot, but even then, even on a second shot, you can see it in my eyebrows, and you can see it, and this is not a perfect test, but the details, you can see my mouth moving in the Samsung, but far more defined eyebrows in the Samsung versus the Apple. Far more defined. And I don't know if it's going to translate for you. Because again, you're seeing these screens, but you're also potentially seeing the sharpness. Here, let me zoom in. Yeah, let me zoom in. This is the best way to do it. Because you can see, hopefully it's going to translate after compression. The Samsung eyebrow, far more defined than the iPhone eyebrow. The iPhone brow is a little smudgy. But at a distance, it's fine. At a distance, you wouldn't know. It's a good selfie camera. Even the eye is sharper on the Samsung. Oh, sorry, Eagles and cycling. Samsungs always look more sharp with colors. iPhones look more toned down in terms of colors. Prefer Samsung's processing when it comes to that. The iPhone camera definitely is a good step forward. I don't know if I've seen enough to say it's a good step forward, apart from knowing that there are incremental changes, some better, some worse, in the iPhone processing over the iPhone 14 processing versus the 13 processing. But what I'm saying is, you know, pitting them side by side over and over again in lighting conditions like this, the Apple or the iPhone 14 fudges some of those details, which is largely irrelevant. And, you know, unless you're going to be doing a lot of printouts, if you're just posting things to Twitter, Facebook, it's fine. It's not something to, like, you know, that is a horrible thing. It is the selfie camera is an absolute upgrade. I never liked using the selfie camera on the other iPhones, if only because I felt like it made me look like an Oompa Loompa. Oh, thank you, anonymous gifter, for gifting Eagles and cycling. Guess technically the screen factors into what you're seeing to try and upload to the computer and comparing on the same screen. Yeah, I will do that when I go to do the side by sides. I'm gonna have to charge my Samsung. This is the problem when you're using devices all day for like video stuff. And then of course when you get past all that, then you start running into other issues like notifications that drive me nuts on iOS. They absolutely drive me nuts. Ugh, no, man. Really? Oh, man. Confirm your... No. Hang on. Is it gonna... Did it remember the other ones? It doesn't feel any faster than earlier iPhones at all. No faster. Nothing whatsoever. It feels about the same. I'm not seeing... And granted, it may still be kind of restoring various things, but it's something that if you like iOS, you wouldn't mind. I'll say that. I just don't understand why Apple, sorry, I missed that. The biggest tech company in the world is not bleeding edge of tech, 48 megapixel on Android phones 5 years ago, if not longer. Yeah, Sorensky, they don't need to. They're selling devices. Here's the thing about Apple, and you got to look at it from... Not necessarily from their perspective. Apple's not going to push the envelope that way. They don't need to. They're going to do something well enough. And is this camera great? Here's the question. Would I rather have my parents using this iPhone versus the iPhones they're using? My mom's on she's got a button on. They both still have buttons. Dad's on a 6 Pro, mom's on a 6. That's how old their phones are. That's how long it's been since they've upgraded their devices. Would I rather have them using these cameras? Absolutely. Zero doubt, right? Leaps and bounds better. So I would say for most of the people out there, I'm not going to sit there and say, I would switch back to a phone based upon its camera. I wouldn't even switch to a phone based upon its camera. It's a boon. I would tell you this. I wouldn't largely consider a device if the camera was of worse quality perceivably with my eye compared to what I currently had. That's one of the reasons why I found it very difficult to even look at OnePlus, because I'm still not sure if they've got their cameras straight as far as quality output is concerned. I'm going to make a video stream about the Apple Watch Ultra or Google Pixel Watch. I'm not going to get an Apple Watch Ultra. I have no plans because I wouldn't be wearing it, and I don't collect devices. I'd have to get the device, for myself to use. I just did a review on the Samsung Watch, though. That was posted in my YouTube channel. The new one. Here's a link to the live video today, and that'll take you where you can subscribe to the general channel, Hayden. So no plans. But I am watching the Google Pixel Watch with great interest. Krusty is also correct. Bleeding edge isn't always better than trusted and proven. I would rather have an optimized photo output than the latest specs. And the case for that was with the Google Pixel. That's the reason why the Pixel was an amazing device for me. The Pixel 2 XL, I thought was fantastic. 3XL, 4XL, 5XL was a wash. 6 Pro is kind of like, I don't know. After I got used to Samsung, I'm like, yeah, I can see why I liked the Pixel, certainly in certain shots. I'd rather have certain people have Pixels. I would love to switch back to the Pixel if they could just get their software under control again, in my opinion. Yours is an 8. You love the button. Maybe they have an 8. Do they have an 8? Maybe it's an 8. It's not a 6. You're right. It's an 8. So they're at 8. So it's iPhone 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they're about 5 generations behind. Wow, it doesn't own a cell phone. They also said the iPhone 14's A16 processor is more efficient. The A15, her 13 Pro Max had better battery life. I'm not sure how battery life's going to measure up. I'm going to be, using it clearly, and using it maybe not as much as possible, but running it through its paces. The thing that just again drives me a little nuts. Did it go? Oh, it did. Okay, it restored. So I have to remember to clean that up, because now I have 2 backups between the 2 devices. I'm not sure, how else to really compare the 2, the old iPhone versus the new one, apart from using that dynamic island. And just in brief default trying one thing or another. Oh no, that's not what I want. What's a good? See how that did that load? That loaded. Oh no, I gotta log in. Yeah, I gotta restore that. Do I have to? I have to restore literally everything. Yeah, I still get judder, iPhone judder, so that's kind of a disappointment. Still not thrilled with the default experience. A lot of weird swipes. This is what drives me nuts specifically with the notification center, is not necessarily how they lay out, but like sometimes I'll go to swipe a notification, then accidentally swipe over and get this. Drives me nuts. Or I'll swipe this way to get a notification and it'll open search. Or I'll swipe this way to clear a notification and the camera will open. It's a horrible user experience. Absolutely horrible. Ghastly. Like shame. Versus in here, in Android, I want to swipe to get rid of that notification, I swipe it. I don't have to worry about swiping over here, way away or doing something like that. Swipe it, like that. So it's clearer that you're not going to accidentally, when you're on a notification, when you're clearly on a notification, that you're not accidentally off the notification slightly and going to open the camera, or off the notification slightly and you're going to open, something that you didn't mean to open. Generally, I don't have as many missed swipes on Android as I do. You run into missed swipes everywhere. As much as I do fudging with I've had so many. I'm like, oh crap, no, clear the notification. I have to go back and I have to make sure my finger's squarely on it, clear, or no. I don't want the camera. I wish I could, honestly, I kind of wish I could turn off the swipe. Can you turn off the swipe to camera? Can you turn off the swipe to widgets? Can you do that? Let's find out. I'm going to find out. This would be lock screen? Or I guess, would that be considered lock screen? Auto lock, display auto lock. No. Lock sounds. Access notes from lock screen. The fact that the iPhone hardware is so fast, the UI just lags, shows how not optimized the software is. Exactly. It needs to catch. You can't do it. I was hoping you could, because I would totally see. I swiped to go back, and what happened is if your initial swipe is wrong, it won't do what you're trying to do. Like if you swipe, if you mean to be swiping to go back to the home screen, you're accidentally swiping down. I don't know. I wish there was less sensitivity with the swipes on iOS. And yeah, I wish you could speed up the animation too. Android 4.4 is better than the rest of Android operating system. Well, I don't know about that. No worries, Krusty. Battery technology seems to be progressing so slowly. Battery tech in general. Well, I'm not saying it's a law of diminishing returns, but, ultimately, and I'm sorry, I've got I was doing the side-by-side, so I had that turned off. Not that I have nothing printing right now. Absolutely nothing printing right now. Because I have, my brother he wants me to print some, practical prints for his car. And so I was going to do that, although Photosmint today released a Rancor bust or two. So I don't know if I'm going to do the full-on Rancor or if I'm going to do the Rancor bust. But I do plan on doing a Rancor bust very, very, very soon. Very soon. That is one of the next busts I'm going to do. So I've been debating, what am I going to print right now? Because I did this in the lime green, the little Wexter minifigures. I've been enjoying those. Chris, I'm telling you, everything you're pointing out is exactly my gripes. Great. You cannot remove swipe to camera. The only thing to do that is jailbreaking. See, dang it. To me, it's good enough that I can just, turn on. Yeah, I can just press and hold for the camera. That's good enough. And I don't need to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. When the notifications are there, that's all I want to be dealing with. That's it. If I want to go to widgets, I'll just swipe over here, right? On my home screen. I'm fine with doing that on the home screen. I'm fine with swiping down to pull up search. It's just that this is what's driving me nuts. I have search here, but then I have, I just went to swipe, and if I swipe the wrong way, it doesn't swipe. Again, I've had those issues on Android too, so I'm not just saying iOS has that market cornered. But like the app library search, like I understand, like this makes sense. You're just searching for apps, but like I'd rather do that, you know, I'd rather have it all in one. I'd rather have just one search to rule them all. Just one search. And this handles app search, everything, right? So type in FAC, top hit Facebook. Although I do understand why Apple has a separate app library and a search for a library, but it's not. It's just different. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just different. Oh, there's contacts, top hit. I don't know why. I guess I'm gonna have to look at the search, the settings to make sure everything's showing up in Spotlight. Like, cause I searched for clock, but clock must not be. See, clips and files showed up, but not clock. When I searched for clock, which is just weird. And then that's the top hit, and then code scanner down here in apps and Zoom. So it's like I did a search for CL, right? CL. CL is what I did a search for, and this is the intelligibility of the search, right? I don't see clock. I see clips and files. I don't know why CL shows up for files. And then I see Siri suggestions, CL. And then I see 3 apps: Code Scanner, Zoom, and 1.1.1.1. I mean, it's just, the search is just unintelligible. I mean, like even if clock showed up there, which it should, and I got to check to see if it is indexing. I'll check that in a second. Why is it suggesting apps like Code Scanner? I understand contacts because Clinic, that's in there. You know, different files. Photos apparently where CL would have come up. So I understand the general usability of some of that stuff. But let's go up to settings and look up. There's lock, but I have to actually type in clock. Do I not? How come I? Wait a minute. That's the name of the app, right? Yeah, it shows up here. Slovensky says, I think that Android foldables are the best reason to stay with Android, but I'm missing the Nexus device. Oh, yeah, I miss Nexus. OnePlus just isn't what it used to be either. Yep, totally hear you. I have a OnePlus 7 here. It's kind of the knockaround Android. Not quite the go-to, but my daughter uses it sometimes to vlog. I'm not sure about Android foldables. Still not sure. I did a video on it, though it hasn't been uploaded to the YouTube channel yet. You can change the screen animation, see how swipe look and accessibility changes to a different style. Really, Vortex? Where? I know that there's animation transitions, like where it fades, but I haven't seen anything about swiping, if that's what you mean. I literally, if I press in the wrong spot for Apple, you see what it does? It say I'm trying to tap that top field, and if I tap just slightly off, it sends me back to the home screen. This is the kind of tapping. This is the kind of. I'm gonna let's contrast that, right? Let's go ahead and open up the. We're gonna open up. I'm in low battery mode. Or I'm gonna be soon. I'm gonna have to charge this. So here I'm on the home screen. Of course it's Samsung, so it's gonna be different. So I swipe up. And by the way, did you see how it juddered a second? Because again, I thought I was swiping down, but it swiped. Misswipes happen everywhere. So I'm going to swipe up, do a search here for, let's do CLOCK. Number 1, the results come in faster than they do on iOS. Number 1. Number 2, clock is the first result. So I got my app search. I've got my settings search. I've got search with Google, search YouTube. I even have other options of what I can search for. Although the Galaxy 5 Watch Manager keeps stopping. Well, why is it doing that? Stop it. Okay, let's go back. Search. Where is it? Clock. And then I have like YouTube results, which that's why I don't show the YouTube results, because it's kind of useless. But of course I can search with Google or search YouTube at the bottom. But yeah, it gives me everything I need, and it's fast. And I don't, if I mistap here, if I'm just tapping like under the search, it doesn't send me back to the home screen. This is what I'm talking about. I'm tapping here. It doesn't, if I tap outside the folders, it doesn't send me back to this screen. In fact, I can even loop. Right? You can set it up to loop, back and forth, I can swipe this way and get Google, swipe this way and get my calendar. Yes, I know battery life. I'll plug in. But what I'm saying is that the mistap here doesn't register like a mistap here. That's the kind of that boils down to usability. And that's the kind of mistaps that I'm talking about on iOS that are just slightly more frustrating. In fact, that's a good example of how to demonstrate it ultimately in my final demo, in my final review. Oops, sorry. Is that gonna plug in? Is it too big? Fast charging. I think I can get it. I think this is a rapid charger, although it's not fitting in the case, which probably needs to come off anyway. I want to get a rapid charge going here, and this may be a rapid charger. No, that's a fast charger too, but at least I can still use it. Seriously, same on a macOS Spotlight. You can always get less relevant results before more relevant results. That's what I'm saying. It's just not smart. You know, Apple's not Google. I wish they were in that way, but I don't even remember the Nexus phone commercial with cats. If you aren't confused, Sprint and Google made a commercial showing. Oh yeah, see, it was so long ago. I'm convinced there are competitors working within Apple to sabotage it. Bren, couldn't tell you. I think Apple won't adopt RCS because it would make a lot more people go to Android and it would make iMessage obsolete. Well, I don't know if it'd make iMessage obsolete. There's a lot of integration, Apple Pay and their App Store and all that. But I feel that as RCS gets more and more adopted, not that they won't have a choice, but as RCS and end-to-end encryption are more adopted, the need to stay in iMessage becomes less and less and less and less and less. Like without that kind of interoperability, like, it's just, you're going to have, it's like, imagine email, right? And imagine if email, which has evolved over time, certainly, but imagine if there were two emails that you could use this email or that email, and that email provider can't talk to that email provider, and this email provider can't talk to this email provider. And we're talking about messaging. In many ways, it's email. And we're living in two different worlds. But at least with email, you can interoperate. Now, you can sit there and argue and like, well, I can interoperate that way. No, you can't. You can't text message an iMessage user. An iMessage user can text. You can send a text so long as you've got, your mobile account connected to it. You can get SMS, but we all know SMS is not going to disappear anytime soon. And I don't think people are not staying on iMessage because of SMS. Let me put it this way. I would not... I don't think it's enough of a demotivator. Yeah, the Spotlight search on the iPhone can be weird. That's why I don't trust it. I don't like it. I barely use Spotlight. I used to use Alfred on the Mac desktop. It was more powerful than Spotlight. But ultimately, I was just like, I primarily use Spotlight to Google things, and now you can do that in Spotlight. And maybe some, quick calculations, quick and easy, or launching apps. I use Spotlight primarily. So that's one of the reasons why you saw on the... Here, I'm going to... Now, this is my iPhone 13, right? The old iPhone 13. Oh, I remember you from today. Oh, I was going to say, what did I say? I cleared all my apps off the home screen. Because they have you keep 4. Otherwise, you just have this crap bar that just doesn't disappear. Like, I'm like, well, I get it. These are quick apps, but like, notice down here, I've got Google Assistant. Did you notice that? Calendar, because, that's information that could be on the desktop. Star Wars, naturally. Camera, yes. And then Google Assistant. So these are the 4 that I would use potentially most often. Because, maybe I wouldn't use a Star Wars app, but I just like having Star Wars there. Because, come on. But I always try to put the camera button in the... here's a little usability tip. If you're interested in tweaking. Don't worry, I'm catching up on the chat. So keep chatting. The iPhone is finicky like that, but I guess I'm used to it. Yeah, see, I don't like that at all. I try to... Hey, Jetty Juggalo. I try to skate... For messaging, I try to skate to the lowest common denominator. What does everybody have, right? What can everybody use? Some people just use text. Fine, I'll text with you. But like, if you send me an image that I can't see, or I send you an image you can't see, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Don't know what to, blame Apple. Don't look at me. I've got a modern client. So, or we're gonna have to use another platform if we're gonna be doing that all day long. Facebook is gonna be moving to end-to-end encryption within a year for everybody. And when that happens, I'm basically going to nuke all my older conversations. All of them are just going to be nuked. I'm like wholesale, like nuked. And I'm moving over entirely to end-to-end. iPhones were great when they were jailbroken. See, I never jailbroke. So, you know, what I do, I just cleared out all my apps. Like, I'm done with, like, managing app folders. Because I realized, even on the desktop, I don't really manage, you know, apps or app folders on the Mac or even on Windows necessarily. I just search. So the only search I really needed is effectively the app library. But unfortunately, hang on, honey. Unfortunately, the way this works, here, I'm going to just search for camo. Camo is the first hit. Okay, that stayed in place. I was just curious to know what was going to happen there. Oh, Apple trade in there. Interestingly enough, the Spotlight search is sticky, which is okay, interesting. But the app, there's a misswipe. The app library is not sticky. So there's a difference between the two. Just a small difference. Sorry, Jedi, what do you need? Yeah, I never jailbroke. Never got into jailbreaking. You know, it was the safety and security and stability that I craved over features. Features were just like, okay, nice. That'd be nice to have, but I'm gonna wait. I don't want to get trapped in with something. Oh, I know what I need to print with this filament. Let me see if I can find it. A salamander. If I have one in here, give me a second. Just getting a print started. Oh, 9 in there. Articulated lizard. Is that 2? Yeah, that's 1. Okay, that'll work. So I realized that because I was managing all these app folders that I had legacy from the beginning, and I uninstalled so many apps that hadn't been updated that I was like, well, I'm probably never going to use it. And there are probably a few more that I can prune off the iPhone too. So yeah, I search. I search. So I want the thing that Apple could do to clean things up. Give me one search. Like you need to reinvent what search is on the phone. I'll forgive you for Siri, right? But you need to. I mean, you can even do that. Like here, if I do so I can't find clock doing this. If I type in clock Siri suggestion, it asked me to search for the web and a whole bunch of photos. So I'm like looking for clock. That was like okay. That I wasn't looking for any of that, but I could easily do. You know what is it? I'm used to doing Google, like, hey Siri, clock. So I can launch it by voice, but if I'm not going to talk, so that's a good question, actually. I'm gonna answer that if you don't mind. The question about a best alternative for Samsung, Słowensky. Give me a second. I'm sitting here talking about the new iPhones that are out. This is not the new iPhone. The new iPhone is actually over here charging. Here, let me uncharge it for a second, or disconnect it. Uncharge it? I'm making up. Is that a word? Or am I making it up? I'm uncharging it right now. The iPhone 14 Pro Max, which I unboxed live on YouTube today, and going back and forth between the new iPhone and then my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Going back and forth in live chat right now. And Słowensky asks, what do you think is the best alternative to Samsung right now? And there are so many Android devices, because let's just say, right, there's the iOS camp and the Android camp, and you're either one or the other. They're two different worlds. And honestly, in many ways, there are big differences between an Android device and another Android device. That's why when people say, oh, I tried Android and it was horrible. Which one? When? Like, they're always changing. There's like a billion of them. And if you tried it 10 years ago, it's certainly different. Heck, if you tried it 5 years ago, it's different now than it was 5 years ago. iOS is a different beast altogether. So in asking this question, and feel free to clarify it in chat, what do you think is the best alternative to Samsung right now? And as much as I have not had an opportunity to try a lot of the newer Android devices, there are some that still remain interesting to me. Just not having unlimited budget, I can't necessarily spring for them, so I kind of have to like just kind of look at a distance and judge for myself. You've got the Nothing phone, which I also have right here. It's clearly, it is nothing. It's amazing. That's out. It's the new kid on the block. Oh. Was that? Am I right? I'm asking my wife because she would know. She knows the difference between all the boy bands. Is that the one that Harry Styles is in? Was that One Direction? Anyway, I'm going to stay going One Direction. Stay going? I'm going One Direction with my Nothing phone. New kid on the block. Coming right back to that. It's got promise. It's got potential. I don't know if it's necessarily been realized. I mean, there's not a lot that they've had time to optimize. I like what they are trying to do. The features, the quality, the build, specifically at their price point, I think it redefines what a mid-tier device could be. Not really necessarily the thing that I would be looking for, but if you're, in the mid-tier, I think it is a viable alternative to a Samsung. When you're asking about Samsung, I mean, it's a broad category. You've got your low end all the way to the high end. So I'm going to assume you're not talking mid-tier. I'm assuming you're talking top tier. And so from my experience, I can only speak from that. I wish I had deeper experience with the other devices that I can't get, the ones that are only available overseas. Now, you could get them, right? But not always easily. And even then, the software is not going to work the same here as it does overseas, which is unfortunate. I wish we had more choice, believe it or not, with Android phones here in the States. There's also OnePlus, which has also been going through an identity crisis. And that, unfortunately, has not been as seamless a transition as I would have hoped for. I've used the new One UI experience on my OnePlus device, which is a few years old. This was the OnePlus 7 Pro? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what it looked like on the back. Someone's going to correct me, I hope. Y'all do really good with that. Oh, Chris, you're wrong. Or, hey, you're right. I feel that OnePlus is also okay. Their cameras, however, not quite up to scratch. And that's where Samsung really, I feel, is leaps and bounds above their competition, by and large, here in the States. No doubt about that, between a OnePlus and a Samsung device, or let's say even a Nothing phone and a Samsung device. But in terms of an alternative, I'm getting there, people. Everyone's going to have a different answer to this. In terms of a viable alternative, I would say the Google Pixel. And I know some people are going to disagree with me, but I moved from a Pixel 4XL? Yeah, 4XL to the S22 Ultra. That was a nice upgrade. Really nice upgrade. It was jarring, not because of the speed difference, but because the camera was just different. The output, the photo quality was absolutely different. And I, at first I didn't like it. And then I realized, oh, those are actually kind of better photos in some conditions, maybe not in all conditions. And then when the 6 Pro was released, the one that I use here on the desktop when I'm like printing things on MakerDeck and people can see what's going on, printing things right now, but unfortunately the print is failing, so I'm going to hit stop because I don't want it to continue. It's a failed articulated lizard. I use the Pixel. I feel that as far as quality experience is concerned, a good balance between hardware and software, affordability, costs, if you will, and what you get, bang for your buck. I feel that as much as the Pixel, in my experience, has missed the mark with the two most recent versions of Android, 12 and 13, they don't do it for me. They don't go far enough. Specifically, the nav bar is inconsistent between apps. That's an Android problem. And it's a problem that can be fixed if they would allow you to turn off that nav bar. If they allowed that and they made a few more tweaks to their Pixel launcher so that it wasn't so anemic, or at least had like some kind of tweak UI software. I know third-party launchers, etc., though third-party launchers don't always work well on Android. They fixed a few of those issues with Android 13, but I don't know if they've gone far enough. The Pixel, I feel, is a viable alternative to Samsung. Viable in terms of, what you get. It's fast. Like, it's even though the hardware is not as fast on paper with the Pixel, it always surprises me when I pick up my wife's Pixel 4 XL, my old Pixel, that she's carrying, and it still feels snappy. And it's old. It's an older device. It's several generations old, but it's still snappy. And that's the thing that just impresses me about the Pixel. It's in fact, I would go as far as to say, and maybe the Pixel's the only line that does this, but that Pixel is snappier today than it was when it was brand new. And that to me speaks to why I believe the Pixel is a viable alternative to Samsung. Not to mention software updates, although Samsung's knocking it out of the park as far as that goes. But you're always going to get the latest software updates with the Pixel as well. I don't think they are supported as long as a Samsung device. But as the Pixel hardware improves, I would also expect the performance of Android to improve on the Pixel. I do, because there are some issues I see where the hardware is not able to keep up with the software on the Pixel 6 Pro. The 7 may be different. I do plan on getting that. If only to test the camera, because I'm interested, because I use the camera every day, as I mentioned it. So, it depends on what you're looking for from the device, but as far as an alternative to Samsung, Google Pixel, because you've got the A range, and then you've got your flagship range. And so you can choose one of the two. I have zero reservations in recommending a Pixel to anybody, especially if you're not like me, and you don't necessarily, look at the fine details of a cohesive experience and quality control, at least with the software. Most people don't see the same things I see. I admit that. Even on iOS, they don't see the same things that I see. The Pixel is a fantastic device, but in using the I've got 4 phones sitting in front of me now. In using the Samsung Galaxy, or at least the S21 and the S22 Ultra, I have reservations with that because of the software experience that Samsung overlays, specifically throwing in third-party stuff that you may never use or you may never need, and adding some amount of app bloat, some amount. Some of it you can mitigate entirely. Some of it you really can't. For me, it works well enough, and it's probably the best performing device that I could use today, that I have access to, or that I would want to use, with all the combination of the camera quality, the speed of the device, the software experience. But so that's why, again, giving you that range, for that rubric, why I would say that apples to apples, gotta make sure I'm holding up the right device. Not apples to apples, but like if you're comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges. If apples are apples, then what are Androids? Oranges to oranges. Granny Smiths, right? Because the Android is green, right? The Granny Smith. You've got to look at more than just Android, right? What else is the differentiator? And so you've got the full range in Samsung stack, and you got the full range in the Google Pixel stack, and then everything else that comes along in tow is additional as time goes on with software updates. That's the answer to the question, and hopefully that answers it accurately. And like I said, this is subjective. This is not like empirical. This is just my recommendation. Other people would disagree, and that's great. That's fine. I welcome it. I'd be interested in knowing what the other alternative might be, if there is one that you see. You try to use iTunes on a Windows XP virtual machine. Why would you do that? Hey, the Free Heathen, good to see you. You had a Treo? I never had a Treo. Never had one. Knew of them. Man, this almost made it. Right, I'm taking my salamander apart. It's called an articulated lizard, but I'm pretty sure it's a salamander. It looks more like a salamander. I had printed one of these out before in this filament, but a kid took it. One of Jedi's friends. Diana, did you need me? Sorry, I had to ignore you.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I know I'm fine. What do you...
So, Parker was being really nice, and
He can't have my lightsabers.
he wants to,
Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube for Heathen. What?
he wants to try on the Kylo Ren mask.
Yeah.
And the Stormtrooper.
Uh...
I'm gonna make sure he asks her
No, they're not really toys. Those are not...
which ones
Sorry.
are okay to try.
The ones that are... Yeah, the ones that are down in the room where y'all used to be.
Just those?
Yeah.
Just need to.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. And Django's not in there. No, Rex. The Rex is a toy too. The Rex that's on the shelf. No, Kylo, no. No, there's another Kylo in there, isn't there? Or is there not?
See, that's what I thought.
Maybe the Kylo moved. So just the ones down there, because I don't want things to break and then me to get testy. This did not work. Okay, so let's try it. Let's try redoing the glue stick. Nostalgia is one heck of a drug. It is. That's why especially when it comes to devices, like that's the last thing you want to be. Is nostalgic for a device. Like that's gonna send you down the wrong path. Like I used to love Windows. Loved Windows. Like if I was in a time capsule and jumped to today, I'd be like, what? Which version of Windows is this? Why is the UX and the UI all over the map? They're fixing that though. I'm telling you, I'm giving Microsoft big props. I'm not saying that, oh yeah, I'd switch away from Mac OS, at least at this point. But yeah, it's I'm very, 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 very interested to see how clean Windows gets. Let's try this lizard again. Which Xiaomi was offered in the States. Yeah, exactly. Remember their software was pretty smooth, not super jittery, along with their A+ cameras. Izzy, one day maybe. One day. I hope. I really do. I like I said, I wish Huawei and Xiaomi and all of them. What is it? There's another one. There's a few others. That what's the other one? I always see them reviewed and stuff. I'm like, I'd like to try that. I'd really like to try that one. Just because it's like, these are alternatives. These are viable alternatives. We just don't have enough here. We don't have enough. Motorola, I haven't had experience with in years, so I can't speak to it. Not yet, at least. But that I know of, there's no like Galaxy Ultra equivalent or Pixel, let's say Pro equivalent in the Moto camp. Sony's always been interesting, but I just never. People don't really go for it. ROG. Is it ROG or ROG? ROG, Republic of Gamers. Also makes waves, but that's mostly for gamers. So you already know, like right up front, the cameras are not going to be flagship quality. Cameras are like number 2. Just depends on what you want. So, like I said, I'd steer towards the Pixel. Windows 11 is kind of a good, but they put up a center taskbar. Well, you can move that button. You can. And initially I did, but then I stopped. I was like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that they moved the button. Or let me put it this way. It doesn't bother me as much as other things bother me. At least not at this point. I do have a restart to do. Because there was an update to something. Although I'm still waiting for the new 22H2 update, which I really want to try, because the 22H2 update has got the new Explorer version. I really want that. Like, big time. Because I've been wanting to try it, seeing if it's any better. Am I going to be looking at overseas phone? Well, I've seen them, yes. But not to the point where, let me move this over here, I guess. Not to the point where, let me plug in my old phone too, or my new phone, I should say. I gotta recharge all my devices because they're all dead. They're dead, Jim. Getting to them though is my question. How do I get them effectively? Is it an eBay thing? Am I getting the right thing? Do I go from somewhere to somewhere else? I don't really have press contacts. I have to do all reaching out. You want something with IR? People still do IR. That's kind of amazing. But cool. I mean, I got no problem with IR. I don't know if I would look for something with IR. It's kind of it's a very it's an interesting use case, certainly. Oops, did it go? Oh yeah, okay. I should post something to what is it? IR? Oh really? Okay, Ethan's dad, I know you're being facetious. Very machine head. Is that a band? Did I get that wrong? Is that a band? Oh, there's my sorry, Free Heathen. There's my iPhone video from earlier. I did a live fun boxing earlier today. That's right, it was a fun boxing on the no, that's not it. Where'd it go? On Facebook or YouTube. Get it. I'm getting better with I feel I'm getting better with the thumbnails. I funboxed. In fact, here's a little secret. You want to get extra promotion for something you're doing on video? If you've got Instagram, the thing you got to do is go over to Instagram. I'm going to show you. I'll do it live. The thing I got to do now, and it may happen after the show, is go in and I got to edit the vlog. I'm not sure if that's going to happen tonight or tomorrow. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow because we got Jedi's doing we're doing a party tomorrow. Is it going to go? Sometimes I hear Jedi stomping and going. What was that? Oh, there it is. There's the iPhone funboxing thumbnail, right? So I'm going to download it to my phone. Swipe up. Go over to Instagram. Oh no, she's playing around. She's okay. And then go to swipe over. Go to story. Swipe up. Select iPhone 14 funboxing. And then swipe up again, and then do a link, and it's going to ask for the link as well as copy for the link, and this is where I just posted over on whatchamacallit, share, copy link, there we go, close YouTube, because I posted it on the desktop, right? So you go in there, and I don't know if y'all have permission or ability to add links on Instagram, but click or tap to watch. Tap to watch. Tap to watch it. Down, like, look. So I can make it bigger, and I can put it there. Tap to watch it. iPhone 14 unboxing. Right? So or I can put it down here. Tap to watch it. iPhone 14 unboxing. Very, very simple. This is like free coverage because Instagram doesn't allow you to link to things, but you can link it from within your story. So it's a good way of getting extra traffic to your potential, like to the people who watch. It's a good way to get extra traffic to what you might be recording, or putting onto YouTube, or having any link that you put anywhere. It's a great way to get that extra promotion. Just FYI. Oh, Astronaut, you're driving home. My God. Trying to get you everywhere when you post a bump. Oh, thank you, Astronaut. I appreciate it. Hey, you sent me. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't quite understand the giveaway stuff that you were talking about. You DM'd me on Discord and Instagram, Astronaut, but I didn't quite understand what you were doing. I wasn't quite clear. I didn't know what you were. Don't know what you were angling at. So if you want to clarify, please do. And by the way, thank you earlier for the question that was asked. I did dive into it. Did go deep into it. That will be a very new, a very different kind of video, and that'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel. Oh, Parker's mom's here. This is important. Kids gotta go. Kids gotta go. The kids gotta go. We have not browsed everybody's makes today, though no one has asked. If you run your own giveaway, you have something to give away. I don't really do a lot of giveaways, though, anymore. We turn off bamboo. Ooh, I gotta open up. Did I? Yeah. Discord. Got a couple makes here. Big Jono. The Chibi Grim on skulls. Model from Mark G. Or G. That's pretty cool. I like that model. Oh, I see. It's the Grim Reaper. Oh, yeah. That definitely, that with the flash, it definitely helps. Got my new V6 hot end recalibrated. Printed the scraper. See, I've got tiny scrapers. I've done the little ones. Printed those on the bamboo. Hey, if you got a scraper, I didn't realize you needed a scraper, but you need a scraper. Razor blade cover. Oh, there's a good way to scrape too. Really good way of scraping. Smart idea. I should probably use that instead, you know? Probably be cleaner, easier. Vortex images. Is that a little planter? What is that? These look like little droids. Pokemon? Little ball creatures? Not quite sure. Yeah, those are definitely... Was that Bomberman? An alien? Flexi alien? Looks like a media storage. Pocket media storage. There's a paint bucket. Organizer. Good for office organization. It's a good array there, man. It's a great array. And then we have... oops, there's that. But let me pop to edge. Okay, from the edge. Although I don't think we had that much activity on MakerDeck Twitter today. Apart from Darth Gallum. MakerDeck making an appearance in the upcoming Homecoming Parade. There's the MakerDeck. Boop. With the Fab Lab. Pooch from yesterday with the stickers. So we didn't, yeah, that I know of. Let me check again. I don't think we had much activity on the Twitters. Oh wait, hang on. My wife made a sweet marble top counter for her dollhouse bathroom. There's a link off to a... Oops, Oh, there we go. Ice Maker actually got a Karen print from yesterday. We saw those mostly yesterday. That was about a day ago, so we didn't really have a lot of activity as I thought. Okay, that's good. I don't feel as bad. Like, wait, did I miss anything? I did not. Okay. Cool. Pretty much caught up there. It's nice. It's nice. I could never do that to my laptop, though. I couldn't. Let me check my bamboo. Do I have it on? I guess it's not on. Thank you for the like. Absolutely. I go liking. I like every like. MakerDeck likes everything. Dang it. I swear I'm gonna damage another one of these damn cords. So, I have, like I said, I've got some work to do. Some twerking. Working and twerking to do. Mostly twerking. A little bit of working. Y'all are over on MakerDeck anyway. Yeah, you are. We rated that Y-Wing guy last night. Groggy Nod is currently 3D modeling. It's been a while since we've rated him, yeah? So what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Do you think? I'm thinking Groggy Nod would be great to say hello to. Give him a boost. Haven't seen him in a bit, but good person nonetheless. I do believe he supports Maker Deck too. Hopefully you do as well. We'll probably be raiding off to Maker Deck over the weekend at some point. Whichever day is the day of the reset. And then I'll be on Maker Deck overnight with something. I don't know what yet. Because I've run out of... I got to find my next project. The Rancor that I'm going to be doing is not going to be a good overnight because I'll be doing that on the bamboo. Well, it might be a good overnight to do on the bamboo. I'll have to look at it. I'll have to slice it up and get it staged to see how long it would take to do with the gray. The fossil gray is what I like doing the busts in, and it'll be a Rancor bust. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the full Photosmith model. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices, and may the force be with you always. Thanks again for being here. I'll be live again tomorrow night at 6 p.m. But I'm also going to be doing a 1 p.m.-ish show over on the new tech YouTube channel. Just something I like to do at least once every week, if I can. And very happy to do that. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Love talking with you. Love chatting. Thank you for commiserating. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. You never know what I'm going to be rambling about next. Tomorrow is Saturday, so it'll be cereal, although it'll be full of so many snacks after Jedi's party. Here we go. Tuscan rating, and then seeing it over on Maker Deck in 3, 2, 1. Oh, whoa. We gifted a sub. Last second. I missed that. No, what? Oh, that was 52 minutes ago. Okay, never mind. Whew. Dodged a bullet.